everyone, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Maria, and I'm going to moderate this webinar on behalf of UNIMI. I'm here with Camila Roa. She's a representative from KEDGE. She's Promotion Manager for Europe and America. You will also meet Cheyne Pearson. He graduated KEDGE in 2023 from the MAI Purchasing Program. Cheyne will give you some first-hand insights, and you can ask him questions about his experience at KEDGE. Speaking of questions, please bear in mind that we have a Q&A box where you can type your questions. And after the presentation, we will have time to answer. And you are, of course, more than welcome to ask everything that comes into your mind about the programs of KEDGE. And now I'm giving the word to Camila.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Maria, for the introduction. It's going to be a pleasure to be with you today. I'm going to introduce myself really quickly, and then, do you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So first of all, thanks for joining. It's a really pleasure to have international students with us. My name is Camila. I work at KEDGE Business School based in Bordeaux. And today I'm going to introduce the KEDGE Business School, and then we'll have some questions with our student, ex-student Cheyne, that now he's a full-time employee here in France. So we'll have the chance to share with him and get to know his experience as a student. So thanks again for joining, and we'll start. So first of all, I want to talk about what is who are we? We're a business school in France based in Bordeaux, Marseille, Paris, and Toulon. And we have around 38 management programs, 300 business partners, around 80,000 alumni, and full-time teachers and international teachers. Also, we have international students coming from everywhere, from Americas, from Latin America, from Africa, from Asia, from Europe. So we are a worldwide school. We're based in France, and our programs are in English, so you don't have to speak French in order to join one of our programs. And it's we are based in these incredible areas: Bordeaux, Marseille, Paris, and Toulon. And if you want, depending on the program, you can choose the campus. So this is the campus in Bordeaux, so which is really a beautiful city in the southwest part of France, southeast part of France. And we have different commodities, we have different things you can discover as a city, because I know that if we say France, maybe you just think about Paris, but no, there's other cities, there are other great student cities that you can consider if you would like to study in France. So this is a little bit of insights of Bordeaux, which is where we are based, and it's a beautiful city. We also have a Marseille campus, and this is a little bit how you see the campus of Marseille and life in Marseille, which is really in the south of France. The weather is really nice, it's in front of the sea. So different cities that are not Paris that will give you a great student experience. But then obviously we also have a Paris campus, which is the capital of France. So we have strong networking with companies. Paris is such a multicultural city. We have different different activities. So there's also the good side of having a Paris campus, because there is a connection directly with the French culture also. We also have a Toulon campus, which is also in the south of France. And this city, the programs we have in this city are mostly in French. So if any one of you speak French and want to apply to one of these programs, you let us know. But it's more limited to French speaker students. Then we have associated campuses abroad. We have in Abidjan and Dakar, and we have in China and Suzhou and Shanghai. So this also makes us worldwide recognized, in the meantime of saying that we're a French business school, but we also have campus in China and in Africa. So talking about the challenge we face is we want to have every time more international students coming from everywhere. That's why our goal for now and 5 years is to have more international students with international backgrounds, with different culture, with different language, in order to make our school even more diverse. We have the students coming from China, from Asia, from India, from Latin America, from the US. So this makes it really makes us a really international school. So we can share our double degree programs with other schools, partner universities, and each time get more globalized, even though we're a French school. And sometimes you think that just because we're in France, you have to study in French, which is not. We have a global community. These are all the partners we have around, and the idea is to have even more and more partnerships of universities, and in order to have more international visibility around the globe. We also have a French Grand École. The difference between a university in France and a Grand École is we are a business school. So we have different rankings, we have different subjects we take care of instead of a university. In universities in France are more like laws, medicine, which other careers? Engineering, while we as a Grand École, we're more like business school. So all of our programs are more based in business. So we have different type of either engineering, management, architecture, art and design, and everything. So these are accreditations. Also, it's important to have in consideration that just 1% of the business schools have these, are triple accredited, and this makes us also one of the top university of granted business schools in France and around the globe. So not many have them. We take really care of our programs, the quality for teachers, the quality of the campus, of the programs and everything. So this will give you a high quality education. These are different awards we've had for some years ago: the Financial Times, the Shanghai ranking, the EQUIS, the Le Parisien, et l'Universal, which is something really, really French. And it makes it also really important in France. And from the different programs we have, we know that not all of the programs we have the same ranking. But for international business, for wine and spirits management, for sport and international sports and event management, purchasing, supply chain, digital marketing and sales, sustainable finance, marketing, international trade and logistics, arts and creative industry management, and corporate finance are all ranked in these universal ranking. So this in France is really important. And if you want to take the criteria in order to choose a school, have this type of consideration also. So now we're going to talk with one of our alumni of last year. His name is Cheyne Pearson. He worked with me when he was a student, and now he's a full-time job. So I want to ask him to make some questions concerning his experience as a student and now a full-time job employee in France, because to consider he's not French, he's from the US. So I'll make a small interview just for us to know him, and also for you to guys know how it is to be an international student studying in France. So thanks, Cheyne, for coming.
Yeah, no problem, Camila.
So it's
happy
also
to be here.
Thanks because we're in the same time zone, so it's really useful. And first of all, I want to ask you, which program did you study at KEDGE, and why did you choose this program?
I studied the MAI, which is the International Purchasing and Innovation Management program at KEDGE on the Bordeaux campus, which is where I met Camila as well. And I chose this program after careful consideration as I went back to school for my master's in between my original bachelor's studies. I was looking for a master's program that was going to kind of slingshot me into a good job position, a position that was going to be able to pay the bills and move forward in a career, and also something that was just going to have a lot of employability and something that was going to be dynamic. as I was looking into different masters, it was when we were in this big supply chain crisis, and it started interesting me around the purchasing areas. And it was a job that is or was and still is very sought after. And there's a lot of opportunities globally for this position, this type of position. So that's what drew me to the program initially.
Okay, great. And tell me, being like an international student in France, how was your experience as a student coming from California?
My experience as an international student at KEDGE was a really good experience. I'd say there was a good international background, but it's also, as the programs are in English, it also gives you a chance to connect with all the different, besides the international students, but the French students, because you have a bit of an advantage as the French people are speaking English as their second language. You're sought after to present more, and it's kind of an interesting position to be in. And then of course there's all the different activities around KEDGE. There's a good community. And Bordeaux itself is a really international city, so that was a really cool part as well.
Great. And tell me, was French like the language a barrier, or how do you get better in French?
French wasn't necessarily a language barrier for me. I mean, we didn't need to speak French for any of the classes. It was just an addition, and most of the students on campus speak English. I already spoke French before I came here, just from initial travels and experiences when I was a little younger. But I felt that in KEDGE, at least, without even speaking French, you get around fine, and people are more than willing to help and speak to you in English. But also KEDGE provides French classes, and I know that a lot of the international students that studied with me were taking these classes on a either once a week or once every 2-week basis, and improved pretty drastically in French. So yeah, I didn't feel that there was a big barrier, but I think there are the tools that are there to help you learn French, which is a big attribute if you're trying to work in France as well.
From other business schools, why did you choose KEDGE? What was your criteria for choosing the school?
I chose KEDGE based on the program, pretty specifically on the purchasing program, because it was world renowned. It was the top program for purchasing, and that's what people are looking for. And I knew that this was going to be a program where there's going to be a strong connection with the teachers. So there's going to be professionals. There's going to be opportunities at the end. And then just seeing with KEDGE, it's a rated school, it's accredited. I knew that this was going to be an investment where it was going to be really worth my time. And when I was going to get out of it at the end, I was going to have the connections needed to be successful. And it seems to be proving very, very fruitful at this point.
So now, can you tell us, you did a program of purchasing and innovation, and
Yes.
then you found an internship. Can you tell us a little bit about your internship and how is the experience in Group Veneto?
Yeah, so I found an internship pretty early on when I was doing my studies. I wanted to stay in Bordeaux, and I looked around for companies that interest me. And I come from the coast originally in California, so I've been interested in boats. I've been interested in being on the ocean. So I found Group Veneto, which is the biggest manufacturer of leisure boats from 4 meters to 24 meters in the world. And one of their headquarters is here in Bordeaux. So I reached out, and they weren't even looking for an intern. And since they liked my profile, they brought me in for a 6-month internship, in which I had immediately full responsibilities as a buyer. I had someone who was helping me out during my internship, who was my boss hierarchically, but I got really quickly involved in a full-time position, which was what I was looking for. And it really prepared me for continuing along. So I did my internship for about 5 months. And after 3 months, they offered me a full-time position to stay with plenty of benefits that I'm really enjoying.
That's great. And do you think the networking of the school helped because you come from KEDGE and from the MIE program?
Definitely. So the way I found the internship, I looked at Group Beneteau on LinkedIn. I saw that there was another person who'd done the MIE program. I reached out to this person who ended up being in charge of my internship, and he explained how the company worked. He kind of told me the ins and outs, and he gave my resume to my boss now, who then called me, and he actually coached me through the interview process and to bring me onto the team. So it was it was a big help. I don't think I would have had that same opportunity if someone had already done the program. And I know that this is often the case, and that's probably one of the biggest attributes of being from KEDGE, is that this network really sets you up to be able to find different opportunities everywhere. It's like any company you look at on LinkedIn, there's someone who's studied at KEDGE, and you could reach out to them. They're going to help you get a job. And also with the MAI program, there's that network of the teachers, the directors, and everyone that really emphasizes that, well, the benefit of the program and the utilization of the network. So it's been really good.
This is really, guys, when you choose a school, like also take this in consideration. Like, we know it's a big investment because we know the prices of our school are, it's a private school, so the prices are going to be kind of high. But then you see this as a long-term investment. Like, something like you invest a little bit at the beginning, and then you get like we'll say the fruits of your effort and your investment in a long-time job, in a full-time job, in a well-paid job, and this will also help your career, your professional networking, your international experience of studying abroad, because something that also recruiters in France value is how brave are you to come to the other part of the world and start over and study and have the language barrier and just get through it, which makes you like really special. And also someone that when you find a problem in your company, you won't give up because you already did something really, really difficult, which was leaving your families and friends and your comfort zone to expand to something bigger and learn more about the world. So I think also this is something to be considered. And when I do also coaching with my Latin American students, I know they will be successful because they already did something that's really hard, which is moving far from home. So I also say this as I also was an international student some years ago in France. And I know that now I'm like pretty sure I can handle a lot of stress because I already did something that was really stressful, which is moving abroad. And something I want to ask you, Cheyne, is how do you feel now that you have a full-time job in France and you've been considering your professional pathway? How do you feel this has helped your professional path as you were working in the US and now working here in France?
So it's been a big change working in France compared to working in the US. It's just a different culture to get used to and to understand. But it's definitely a huge attribute. And I work in quite a few different languages with my job, as my job is so international. I'm talking with suppliers that are based all over the world. If I'm talking to a supplier in Asia or Latin America or maybe Portugal or Italy, and I'll be speaking different languages throughout the course of the day and just getting a lot of experience with different different companies, different cultures, and different people. And so I think it's certainly like been a really big learning experience, and I think it's going to help moving forward. And also, just as a note, like since I've started this full-time position as a buyer, I've gotten multiple offers from other people in the industry that are seeking out these positions. Someone from the MIE program, plus with a little bit of experience, it just becomes, the opportunities are sort of endless.
Okay, Cheyne, thank you so much. And maybe one last question, because then I'll finish the presentation and then I'll answer all the questions we have, because I think we have 11 questions in the group chat. So I'll explain about the scholarships, I'll explain about the admission process. And you can also have questions to Cheyne at the chat box, and then we can answer them at the end of the presentation if it's okay with you. So yeah, so concerning the timing, I'll continue the presentation and then we go back to the questions, okay?
Sounds good.
Okay. So this is also important, guys. It's about employability in France, is that if you come to France, you'll have a student visa. And then when you graduate from KEDGE, you have a long stay visa for 1, 2, and for Indian students, it's 5 years. But usually for other students, if you need a visa, it's 1 year. So it's a visa where you can look for a job, a full-time job, and there is no problem with it. And then the idea is that you find an internship being a student, and then as Cheyne experience, he's stating his internship. So also this is a good thing for getting directly into a company and do like the 6-month like preparation and then the full-time job, which happens all the time. So also this is important. Why our mission is to be sustainable and inclusive, which means we want to have as much students from the world. We want to be original in our CSR campaigns, in our missions, in our values. So we can also compete with other business schools, but in a clear and transparent way. We want also you to be like, our teachers are also working at the same time. So this makes us a school that has teachers that are working. So they bring real situations from companies, what is happening in the market, what's going on around the world. So this makes it that teachers are up to date with the subject. So you will be up to date with everything. You can be up to date. And we're open to the world, since you saw, we have different campuses, and the idea is to be even more international, so we can create a big community of international students that will be helping each other and construct a good community, a long-term and short-term. So I want to discuss about our programs. This is something that I love to do, because we just don't have 1 or 2 programs. We have plenty of programs with different, focus area. So we have marketing, we have finance, 3 types of finance, we have supply chain, we have business, we have in the part of wine and spirits management. So everything of this is makes our programs really like unique. And it's not that you have to study this in order to succeed, when we have so many options. So first of all, we have the marketing program, and this marketing program, it's a generic program of marketing. We have it in Bordeaux, Marseille, and in Paris. So depending on the specialization you want to do, you can choose the campus. If you're interested in brand management, you can choose Bordeaux. If you're interested in key account management, you can choose Paris. If you are interested in organizations of events in the communication area, you can choose Marseille. So this is really appealing for international students, because we just don't have 1 option, we have 3 options. So you can always choose. Digital marketing and sales, we have it in Marseille. MIE, the really good program, we have it in Bordeaux. International sports and event management, we have it in Marseille. The 3 finance programs, banking and finance, we have it in Bordeaux. Corporate finance, we have it in Marseille. Sustainable finance, we have it in Paris. Supply chain management, we have it in Bordeaux. International trade and logistics, we have it in Marseille. Business transformation for sustainability, we have it in Paris. Data analytics for business, we have it in Bordeaux. International business as marketing, we have it in the 3 campuses, Bordeaux, Marseille, and Paris. Arts and creative industry management, we have it in Paris. Wine and spirits management, we have it in Bordeaux. And wine and hospitality, we have it in Paris. If you can see a little bit, like these programs are also strategic based programs. So we know Paris is the capital of fashion, of culture, of arts industry. That's why we have the program of arts based here. Wine and spirits, it's in Bordeaux. Why? Because Bordeaux is the capital of wine. In supply chain management, it's also in Bordeaux because it's also close to many companies that are logistically based and important here in France. And sports management, we have it in Marseille. So there's many like different options. So the one you want to choose will be the best for your career and for your professional path. And this is something our international counselors will help you. So if you're a student that did 4 years of marketing studies and you want to be more into digital marketing, we have the program for you. But if you have, for example, 3 years of logistics experience and you want to be in purchasing, we can also help you. So there's always something we can see from your previous studies and your work experience. So this is what I already said about the differentiation of the campuses. So we have different scholarships, guys, but this is also important because we have early birds. When you apply before a certain date, we can give you till 10% just because you apply till, we'll say, before February. Then we have solidarity, excellence, and diversity. These scholarships can sum up until 25% of the total fee. So this is also a considerable discount and scholarships that will be seen from your previous experience, how well you do in the interview, how much do you want the scholarship, and so on. So in order to apply to one of our programs, you create your application and then admission will check your documents. When we check your documents, then you'll be scheduled an interview. This interview will be 30 minutes long. So it'll be like, hey, Camila, why you want to study in France? What's your interest of the program? What is your long-term objective with this program? And so on. So concerning this interview, we can give you some scholarships and then help you with the most we can. What happens? Some students don't ask for scholarships. Some students don't need the scholarships, or some students do really need the scholarships. But the most important thing is for you to be transparent and tell us, I really need a scholarship of 25% if I can make my dream of coming to France possible. So they take these into consideration. But also, since we are divided by regions, I'm in charge of all Americas and a little bit part of Europe. We have our counselors coming that take care of Indian students, of students coming from North Africa, South Africa, students coming from Western Europe, students coming from French countries, so French-speaking countries. So we'll be helping you concerning your nationality, so we can be more aware of your situation. So as we say, we have different programs with different area focus. So this is also into mine. And we have the BU program, which is like we have different best practice in order to develop your qualities of entrepreneurship, leadership, and transformation. So this is also part of the trademark of the school. We need you to have to create work experience, to learn by doing, which means you'll have real basis of real situations of companies coming to the school and asking you to present, to develop, to create a project, which is really cool, because you won't be just seeing like a class for 30 minutes or for 2 hours. You'll be participating in the class, you'll be discussing, you'll be talking, you'll be posing questions, we're doing presentations, group projects, and so on. So it's really active and dynamic. We need you to be an intern, because part of the program is in order to graduate, you need to do an internship. So most of our programs go from September to May, full-time classes, and then 6-month internship. And while you do your internship, you're getting paid and you're getting work experience. And also this is something you need in order to graduate. So take into consideration. We have different missions, we have incubators, entrepreneurship, and this makes us the school also like an important school when you want to create, you have a personal project, for example. So now we get to the questions. I'll start to answer most of them. So I see Yassine Berish asked, is there possible scholarship programs to join KEDGE Business School? Yes, we have till 25% of scholarship. And depending on your nationality, we can help you out in order to get these scholarships. Okay?
Yeah, if you want me to, I can ask the questions.
Okay.
Camila? Yeah. Next question we have is, the international business include what?
Okay, the program itself, it has, as I said, September to May full-time classes, and it has different modules. You will see different types of classes depending on the specialization you have. So if you leave us your email, we can send you the brochure and we can organize with you a one-to-one call so we can explain all the program and how number of hours and number of credits. Because if now I explain each program, it will be a little bit too long. So you can give us your contact and we do a presentation for you, okay?
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. You wanted to
No,
say
no, no.
something.
I remember it's you who do the question, sorry.
All right. So the next question we have is, for the admission procedure, how does it work and what are the important dates for the next intake, let's say?
Okay, so our next intake is in September of this year, and if you are still have time to apply, but we are opening slots for every month for interviews. So you finish your application and the end of the month of January, February, March, we'll be trying to schedule an interview 2 weeks, 1 week or 2 weeks after. So we have a windows, we'll say like that, are opening for students to finalize their application. Then the window closes, we do the interviews, and then it reopens again. So we're opening soon in April because the ones in March are already covered. So this is also an information we'll give you as soon as you start your application. We'll help you out with the deadlines we have. But we have in January, in February, March, April, May, till June or July, depending on your visa process. And also for the admission process, as I said, you need some documents to upload. You need an English test. We accept Duolingo, IELTS, TOEFL, or TOEIC. You need your CV in English, your grades from university, your diploma from the university, your latest transcripts, and a motivational part. This is something we'll be checking with you. If you need any help, we can help you. If you don't understand a document, we are asking for.
All right, I was just about to ask this, what are the requirements? So people need to have a graduated bachelor to be able to apply for a master's at KEDGE, right?
Yes.
Okay. So next question we have, what kind of program available and scholarship details? We already covered this, so I'm going to the next one. What about fee? Yeah.
It depends of the program, but our prices go from 15,000 euros to 20,000 euros without scholarships.
All right. So next question. I am an English language teacher in a secondary school in Bangladesh. Can I apply for a master's degree in your university? What will be the requirement and total cost of having a master's degree in English there?
Well, this is something we have to see, like in the way of what did you study before and which master you want to do. So this is something absolutely we can help you out. So if our programs are aligned with your career objectives, and the total cost will be, without any scholarship, 17,000 till 20,000 euros, depending on the program. And we need a C1 level of English, full-time, around 100 Duolingo, IELTS 6, TOEIC, I think is 70, 80. So it will depend of the program, but it's around this level of English.
So the best solution is just to get in touch with you, and then you will figure out the next steps.
Yes.
Thank you. How does it work, the program for Brazilians? Visa, sponsorship, scholarship, prices? Do you offer masters in alternance?
Okay, so concerning this, if you're not based in France, we cannot offer you an alternance because the visa doesn't let us do it. So you have to be in France in order to already studying for 1 year in order to be eligible for alternance. For full-time students that come from Brazil, we have the visa letter, which comes when you get accepted and you pay the deposit of 2,000 euros. And we have the scholarship of 25% maximum. And the prices, as I said before, go from 15,000 euros to 20,000 euros. So depending on this, you can see how much of scholarship we can give you and how much you will need in order to come to the school.
Okay. Myself, Kender, I'm Kender from India, and I want to do an MBA in marketing.
So we have an MBA that is opening in January. It's an MBA for students that have around 3 years of work experience, and it's a generic MBA. It will start in January. We can send you the information if you're interested in MBA.
Okay, and also you have a master's in marketing, right?
Yes, we have master in marketing.
Okay. Hello, I want to know about scholarship for international students. This is something that we already spoke about. Can I ask some questions if you have time? Problem is that I am a data analysis and I'm certified base data analyst. I got 3 interview letter, but some issue I don't get in. I'm eligible for MBA. So if someone give me job for data analysis, when I will get an admission?
So this is a little bit confusing for me. We'll have to check your profile if you do an application with us, because I don't take care of your, I think I am not really sure if you're too experienced for one of our programs, which can happen because our programs are also students have around 20 to 30 years old. So if you have a lot of job experience, there must be, you'll be more executive master level. So I don't want to how to say, to promote a program, something that's too less executive than you have. So we have to check your profile, see your work experience, and see what do you study in your home country. As you said, you experience in data, and see if it's a good fit for the program. As I also want to say, it's not me who chooses the students, it's the program directors. They do the interviews, they see your level of English, your level of knowledge, your professional career path project. So it's not something we decide, it's something the school board decides. So it also comes more from the decision from the school than from us.
Okay. Can you speak a little bit more of the requirements for a scholarship for international students?
You have to do 1-page essay saying why you want the scholarship, any project you participated, anything you're proud of. This type of things we really like because we can see that you're an active student, you're a person that is interested in the world, in social activities, in academic projects and things like that. So if you do a small essay of 1 page, it will be enough. Also take in consideration, you'll be doing an interview, and this interview will measure also how interested you're in the program and how well you'll be fitting in the program.
Okay. Is there a master in literature and taught in KEDGE?
No literature taught program.
Okay. I am 3-year bachelor's.
Hello?
I could still hear you. I think we just lost.
Okay. So
Maria.
I see it says 3 years bachelor's, eligible for 1 year MSc program. No, you're eligible for the 2 years program because you have 3 years of bachelor. If you had 4 years or more, you'd be eligible for 1 year MSc program. So the second question, English proficiency test is mandatory for the admission. Yes, it's mandatory, especially for M2 for the 1 year program master, but for the M1. So, ma'am, I'm Neil. How to apply? I have no IELTS, but I also English. I'm from Coursera. You do need an official certification of English, either Duolingo, IELTS, TOEFL, or TOEIC. Coursera doesn't count as a certification. I have an English test required if you come from a university that teaches in English, like MSc in Tunisia. No, you do need a certification of English, a test. Customer care. I want to ask about customer care excellence diploma that you can help me out with, since I have 8 years experience in the industry. So if you have 8 years of work experience, we can see if you are a good fit for one of our programs. This is something we can do in one-to-one in order to see your profile, career objectives, and why you want to study a master's in France. Is there anything else we can do while we are at KEDGE? We can give us tuition fee benefits over there. We don't pay students while they're studying. You can have a part-time job if you want in the weekends. That is something you can do. And also by studying in France, you get some benefits by getting some money for housing, which is also something really nice for being a student in France. But this is not something the school gives. Yes, payment installments, you can pay till 6 installments starting from September. So if you already paid the deposit and got a scholarship, you'll have, for example, 10,000 euros you can pay in 6 accounts from September to February. Are there any full scholarships? No, there's no full scholarships. So you are from Pakistan, final semester will be likely completing to the you can apply with a letter from your school saying that you'll be finishing soon. So this will be like a attestation from your school saying that you'll be graduating in July, and that your diploma will be given in July. So with this, you can apply with us. And yes, you are eligible for marketing program if you're from engineering. We just have to see why you want to, if you're from engineering background, why you want to do marketing, and see if you are like aligned with the program and your long-term goals. But it is something we can see with our Southeast Asia advisor. He will really help you out with these type of questions. Yeah, it's possible to submit our documents in French. Yeah, if you study in French and you have your documents in French and you're applying for a French full-time program, it is possible to put them in French. And if you have an engineering diploma and you want to continue studies in France, of course you can do. If it was more than 4 years, you can do M2. And depending on the program, you can do data analytics, purchasing, you can do even logistics. So there's many options for you if you come from an engineering program. So we would love, we really know that engineering backgrounds are really important for us. And yes, you can get one-to-one profile evaluation. We'll be more than keen to help you out. I'll give you our contact from the international team, so you can contact us and we can help you with your admission process. Do you guys have any question for Cheyne as a student of last year? Because I think I answered most of the questions that are administrative. Maria, are you back? I think we lost.
Hey, Camila, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, my colleague Maria is having some technical issues right now.
Okay.
Yeah, otherwise, I see that you've answered all the questions and there are no more questions coming in the Q&A box. So if you have any final words or tips that the participants have to hear, please share it with us. Otherwise, I think we're ready to say goodbye.
Yes, and I want to share our email address, please. If you want to ask us direct questions and have the one-to-one with one of our counselors, more than welcome. So this is the email, international@sketchbs.com. So feel free to mail us, feel free to ask your questions, telling your name, nationality, and your main concern, and we will get back to you as soon as possible.
Thank you, Camila. It was great hearing all this useful information. Thank you, everyone, for joining. We will follow up with email of this webinar with a recording and more information about KEDGE Business Schools. Thank you, everyone, for joining. We wish you best of luck. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.